Good morning, guys, and Happy New Year's. A couple of days ago, I put out a video about being a signing agent versus being a notary public. But I didn't really go into deep detail about what a notary does or how to become a notary. In this video, we're going to touch on that just a little bit on how to become a notary in the state of South Carolina or a notary public. We're going to talk about the application process a little bit, what a notary does, what a notary cannot do, and things of that nature. So without further ado, let's get into it. The first thing, as mentioned the other day in the video, you have to complete a application. The application, at the top part, you'll fill out. The bottom part has to be stamped by notary. You do have to have a voter registration. So if you're not a registered voter, you have to be a registered voter in order to be a notary in the state of South Carolina. You can go to www.scsoc.gov. That is the state of Secretary of State in the state of South Carolina, and you will find the application there. That's where you can fill out the application process. Again, that's www.scsoc.gov. I'll put the link down below this video. There's a $25 fee for the application. Once you complete the application, you send it off to your state representative. They will do a pretty thorough background check to make sure you do qualify as a notary, which pretty much means you don't have any criminal activity in your background, major criminal activity, traffic violations does not count. Once you receive the approval back from your state representative, you have to take it to your local courthouse to be commissioned. They will simply stamp it, and now you become a notary. There is a $12 fee associated with that. So once that happens, you are now officially a notary in your state. In this particular state case, it's the state of South Carolina. This process could take anywhere from 2 to 12 weeks, just depends on where the clerk of court in your local area is and how busy they have other notary processing going on. Anytime that there's a change in your marital status or if you move, things of that nature, you do have to inform the Secretary of State and complete another filing, even if you change the addresses. And if you're a female, or I guess if a male, and your marital status change, you have to change that. You have to complete another form, and that's a $10 filing fee for that as well. Your notary certificate is good for 10 years in the state of South Carolina. I believe that's the longest of any state in the country, 10 years. So once you become a notary, you do not have to recertify or reapply or renew your notary for 10 years. So that's a major advantage versus other states. Part of being a notary for the state of South Carolina means you have to get a notary seal. The seals are normally anywhere from $25, $28 to $45, $50, $60. Just depends on how fancy you want your seal to be. Basically, your seal is going to have your name, the state of South Carolina, and the county that you work in. No, not the county, just the state of South Carolina, your name, and the date that your notary stamp expires or your notary certificate expires, which is going to be 10 years from the time you were accepted as a notary. The state of South Carolina also accepts both stamps and seals. Stamps and seals are a little different. A stamp is just what it sounds like. It's a stamp that you just stamp. It's usually ink. You just press down on a piece of paper and it stamps it on there. A seal is a little different. It has your information as a notary, your name, the state, and your expiration date, but it serves more like as a staple, and it puts an embroidery or imprint on it that most notaries now do not use unless it's specified, because it's hard for it to show up on paper if there has to be copies made. So most notaries and most companies or most courts ask for a stamp notary instead of a sealed notary. All right, some of the acts performed by notaries acknowledgments, oaths and affirmations, jurates, affidavits, verifications. As a notary in the state of South Carolina, you can perform marriages. You can be a witness. Anything to have anything, any other act that is authorized by the law, the state law of South Carolina, and it needs a witness or a person with a seal. Anytime that you sign as a notary, you have to stamp it. That's part of that becomes a notarized act. So there are several different other situations such as deeds, a trust, a someone that's in jail or someone in the hospital may need a power of attorney. It may mean a notary present to witness that signing. So there's a list on the South Carolina Secretary of State of South Carolina website. That's sos.gov, scsos.gov, and it's an online manual that will walk you through the steps of notaries, how to become a notary, some of the notary acts, some of the duties of a notary, and etc. Talking a little bit about the fees of a notary. In the state of South Carolina, a notary cannot charge over $5 for a notary act, the act itself, but you can charge for travel fees. If you have to travel a good distance to complete the notary act, then you can charge for the travel fees. But the act itself, the maximum you can charge is $5 just for the act, which is very different than being a signing agent. A signing agent, fees normally start at the minimum $25, and that's rare, and they go up. So that's a very, very big difference between a notary and a signing agent. In my next video, I'm going to talk about the signing agent a little bit more and their duties and their pay and things of that nature. But for a notary, the base salary or the most you can charge for a notary act is $5 plus the fee for traveling if you have to travel. Okay, one of the things that notaries cannot do, notaries cannot notarize your own name, your own documents, your own papers. It's strongly recommended that you do not notarize family members, even though in certain cases that's allowed. Notaries in the state of South Carolina cannot win the lottery. Even though we're not elected officials, we do have a relationship with the state government, which prevents notaries from actually winning the lottery. So guys who want to buy lottery tickets and hope of winning Mega Millions or Powerball, right now as it stands, you cannot win the lottery. Notaries are not attorneys, and attorneys are not necessarily notaries in the state of South Carolina. Notaries cannot perform closings because they're not an attorney. An attorney has to be present or on the phone for a actual real estate closing that a notary is a part of. Your sole responsibility would be to make sure that the person signs the documents correctly. The person is who they say they are. The person dates the documents as needed appropriately, which are your main jobs as a notary and as a signing agent. But as I said in a later video, we'll speak more about a signing agent. But a notary is to really make sure that a person understands what they're signing. Make sure the person is who they say they are. Make sure their signature is legible, and they date whatever document appropriately and correctly, which means normally the year, the date, and the month, but the year being written out. Example, instead of 1/2/21 or 1/2/22, it should be 1/2/2022. That is written out completely, date itself. And yes, that's pretty much giving a little brief synopsis about what a notary does, especially in the state of South Carolina. Again, you can go to the website www.scsos.gov, .gov. That's the state of Secretary of State in South Carolina. They have an online manual. Has everything there you need to know. It can walk you through the whole process. It's really easy. At the most, $40 or less to become a notary. And as long as you pass that background check, you shouldn't have any issues at all. So thank you for joining me. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video. And I'll see you on the next one. Have a good day.